Fury and Wilder then, I mean, where do they go next? Mohammed, what do you think for Fury? There's obviously, there's talk about undisputed with Usyk, but realistically, that's not going to happen because of the rematch. That AJ's he's enacted the rematch clause, so he has, like he said, the Wilder thing's done. Like I can't see them ever fighting again. Don't see why they should either. So Dylan Whyte is the mandatory. So do you think it's going to be Dylan Whyte if he beats Otto Wallen, obviously, which is quite a tough fight, or is he just going to go for, like, as you would call, a bum, which is just a kind of a gimme fight in between to kind of wait?
I think he's at the point where a gimme fight doesn't make any sense. I think his next opponents need to be, world class opponents in the top 6 heavyweights that he hasn't fought yet, and there are several heavyweights that he has not fought yet who sit within that top 5, 6. He hasn't fought Whyte, he hasn't fought Joshua, he hasn't fought Usyk. He's not going to fight Parker.
Joe Joyce,
Joe Joyce. Yeah, we can't forget about Joe Joyce. Yeah. Obviously,
Andy Ruiz potentially.
Crazy. Andy Ruiz.
Mate.
No.
What?
Andy Ruiz isn't a bad boxer.
Hergovich?
Andy Ruiz versus Tyson Fury would be hilarious. Can you imagine the build up to that fight?
Mate, Ruiz would be like, pa 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 to the body. He'd be like, pa 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 the body.
No, that's look. He should fight. He should fight Whyte, and I think they're setting it up that way anyway. I think from looking at Twitter and all that, they're saying Fury versus Whyte, Usyk versus Joshua, winners fight each other. That's basically how they're putting it.
We're back to the semi-final scenario because people lost, basically.
Yes, so that's I think the fight he should take. He should fight Whyte. Whyte does pose a threat. Whyte is not a bum. He is a good fighter.
The press conference would be hilarious to that.
Whyte has good boxing ability and he's a crazy brawler as well. He's probably, he poses his own different threats that Wilder doesn't pose, to be honest. I mean,
Yeah, the left hook.
Yeah, he's dangerous. Whyte is dangerous. So Fury should fight Whyte. And then after that, he should fight the winner of Usyk Joshua. I think that's ultimately what should happen. And as for Wilder, I don't know I don't know what he should do. To be honest,
I'll come to Wilder. Wilder in a second.
Go on,
Kev, what do you think about Fury?
I do think he should. He's in a position to face the winner of Joshua versus Usyk now, and I think the loser of that fight, either Joshua or Usyk, should, I think, face Whyte potentially. And as you say, maybe throw in Andy Ruiz in the mix, maybe throw in Joe Joyce in the mix. I think they are a good opponent.
Keeps laughing at Andy Ruiz.
No, Andy Ruiz isn't a bad boxer. I think he does need to make a bit of a comeback. But if he didn't lose that motivation in that rematch, he could have. He's not a bad boxer. Let's put it like that. And there's still other good boxers out there like Joe Joyce, and there's up and coming ones like we saw in the undercard on the fight. I can't remember his name, but
Frank Sanchez, where he fell asleep.
Yeah, there was a few good heavyweights.
Good fighter though, Cuban Flash. He's basically like a more. He's basically like he's in better shape than Andy Ruiz, but he fights quite similarly to him. Andy Ruiz is obviously a lot better at this point, but he's got similar credentials. He's like quick hands, but he's got very quick feet as well. To be fair, so that one to look out for Frank Sanchez. I think he's under Canelo's team and branch or umbrella, even as Andy Ruiz. Tricky. So he looks very tricky. He does, yeah. But yeah, I agree. I think Fury Whyte and Joshua Usyk 2, or Usyk Joshua 2, and then the fighters hopefully fight each other. That'd be good. What about for Wilder, Mohammed? There's a couple of things. Does he retire? Does he keep on fighting? Who does he fight? Does he go for, I don't know, a guy in America to make it a big fight, and Andy Ruiz, flipping, I don't know, Hellenius? I mean, who?
I don't know. I really don't know what he should do. I don't think he should retire. I think he's obviously, like I said, I placed him like 4th. If I had a list of heavyweights, I'd put him like 4th. And that means that he can obviously beat a number of other opponents that he hasn't fought yet, and would have a much better chance fighting. He's lost to someone who, in my view, is the best heavyweight currently of the don't know if of the generation makes sense, but of the current active fighters, Fury, in my view, is the best heavyweight. There's nothing kind of shameful or embarrassing to lose to the best heavyweight. Plus, he's knocked him down several times, so obviously he carries significant power, and he's pretty good. And he's been knocked down himself and got up, and like this fight, he got knocked down, got up, and gave it back to Fury the next round. So he's got a lot of, he's got a lot of heart. He's got a lot of heart, and he's got skills. I know people sometimes write him off as just being a guy who's looking to headhunt, and he does sometimes do it, but he's still got some boxing. He's got boxing ability, obviously.
He's got some boxing ability.
He's world level. He's world level. So he should continue to fight anyone else other than Fury that's top 10. Just find someone and fight them. Get back on your feet, and if he wins that fight, he'll kind of realize that he's, just because he lost to Fury doesn't mean he's a bad fighter. He'll realize that he can win against a lot of people if he's put in a ring with them. So I still want to follow Wilder's career. I don't think he should retire. He's still in his prime years. It doesn't make any sense for him to retire. So I just don't know who his opponent should be. I have no idea. Parker, I don't know. That's a really tricky fight. I don't know whether you should fight Parker, but that's a super tricky fight. Yeah, well, Parker's got good boxing ability, and he takes people down into the late rounds as well.
Needs to beat Chisora first. He lost that.
Or even Joe. Can you imagine Joe Joyce versus Wilder? That'd be fun. That'd be interesting.
Mate, Joe Joyce versus Wilder is my favorite fantasy matchup because can Joe Joyce's granite chin
take everything that Wilder throws and just keep on plodding on. That'd be fun.
Yeah, that'd be carnage. Kev, what about you? What do you think's next for Wilder?
Yes, I agree with Mo. I don't think Wilder should retire at all. He's still very good. I do think him against Dillian Whyte would be really good. It'll be an incredible press conference roundtable.
They kill each other in the press conference.
Probably. Yeah, but Dillian Whyte probably started laughing at him previously when he lost to Fury. He's probably laughing right now, posting a video about it. I think I think Wilder and Dillian Whyte would be a really good matchup. I also think Wilder versus Joe Joyce would be good. They're both tall, quite I think Joe Joyce is slow. Wilder's got, but he's got a good chin. He's got
better boxing ability than Wilder, though.
Yeah, so I think
power. Yeah,
I think that would be a good matchup as well. I think either Dillian Whyte or Joe Joyce, potentially Parker or Ruiz, but I think White's probably his best opponent now.
Agree. Interesting. Cool. Anything you guys want to touch on before we wrap up?
No, nothing for me, thanks.
No, it was a good fight. It was worth staying up until 6 a.m. for.
It was. It was. If it wasn't good, I know it was 5:45 p.m.
Really?
It ended at that time.
Okay, fine. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, but it was worth it in the end. I mean, I think if it was a terrible fight, we would have been really moody the next day. So luckily, it was worth it. It was one of the best fights. I think one of the best heavyweight fights I've seen. To be fair.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it probably was better than AJ Klitschko. I watched that live, and I reckon it's probably better than that fight, to be fair. But yeah, really good fight. A shame that Wilder didn't bother shaking Fury's hand at the end, and clearly doesn't want to acknowledge. Just bizarre. But anyway, just clearly got a bit of an ego.
It'll be very interesting to see what Wilder says, especially about if he gets asked about, so what do you think about those allegations you made in the previous fight? It'll be interesting to see what Wilder says now.
Ooh. So he has actually said something since the fight. I don't know where he said it. So he said...
I saw the quote, but I don't know if that's true. Unless I've got a recording of him saying that anyone can make up stuff.
Yeah, so he said something... but he said something like, he came in and tried to rough me up. And he said, I tried my best. And he said, Tyson Fury came in and clearly tried to lean on me and rough me up. And he said, and he did that. He succeeded. That's basically what he said. But Malik Scott, his trainer, said a lot of really props to him and said, Tyson, incredible fighter. He said this on his Instagram post. Tyson, incredible fighter. You have a very uncanny way of bringing out the best in people, and I really embrace this mission with open arms, knowing he was going up against one of the best heavyweights of any era. He said, Shaquille Stewart being your head trainer made the task even more intriguing. Last night he was great, but we were great, but you guys were greater. Congratulations on a victory. Well earned. Boxing wins again. So I thought that was really well put by Malik Scott. But yeah, I thought it's very dignified in the loss and just saying we'll come again. So yeah, let's see. Cool. Thank you very much, guys, for tuning in. Please remember to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and also do get involved. We're on Discord. The link will be in the description to the video. We're on Patreon as well. Check it all out. Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff. Thank you very much, guys, and see you on the next video.